I'd like to speak with you about the hive mind, and this is actually a real condition, and it affects all of society one way or another. It's a real thing. People don't like to hear the truth. The trouble with that is, the statistics back me up on this. It starts out as a very young age, especially with the females. But males too, we're getting to all that. Just hold on to your horses and britches and whatever else the young kids say. I don't know. You gotta have the same crayons as everybody else. You gotta have the same folders as everybody else. The popular lunch boxes and backpacks this year are X and Y and Z, and I've gotta have one. As the kids get older, the items become more expensive. Clothes, jewelry, watches, perfumes, colognes, handbags, and purses. We gotta have it. What all this stuff does is feeds on your consumerism. It keeps you buying. What is in trend this year? It's the new season. I can't wear that. That is so last year. We're still focusing primarily on women here. We're getting to the males. Just you wait. It seeps into your adult life then. Except the purchases get more expensive. We gotta go to college. You just have to. If you have any chance of making it in the real world, never mind all the debt. Never mind the worthless degrees. Weddings, vehicle. You gotta have a big wedding. You just have to. Whatever dad can afford plus another 10 grand on the credit card, that's what I have to have, Daddy. I have to. Whatever the top-notch, Hollywood wedding is, ceremony, $28 million. The best of that you can do, plus a little extra, is what I have to have. Otherwise, I might as well not even have a wedding. Is that what you want? Vehicles. I mean, you see it right now in society. Now it's Subaru vehicles, or as I like to call them, Scooby-Doos. Subaru's never made a good vehicle. They still don't. The transmissions are bad. The head gaskets are bad. I gotta have an Outback or a Forester, or whatever your income plus a little extra. That's what I gotta have. It used to be SUVs. The soccer mom in the SUV. Well, actually, it started with minivans. Probably something else before that. But minivan, and those are so horrible. Then we went to SUVs. It's about your family safety. Do you want the kids to be safe or don't you? I mean, you're basically just killing them, putting them in a sedan. You're just going to get killed by a semi. Put them in an SUV. It got so prevalent that the U.S. government was giving a $6,000 tax credit to buy an SUV. And then a few years later, gasoline goes to $4 a gallon. And no, there's a problem. Never mind. Now it's the Subarus, and the Jeeps are a big thing too. When has a Jeep ever been a good vehicle? I mean, maybe in World War II or something, the Korean War, off-roading. How many of these Jeeps are actually going off of the road? But that's never mind that. Home purchases. You have to get, the bank said I could qualify for a $400,000 house. Not that I can pay for one or afford one, but that I can qualify for the loan for them to get a $400,000 house. So we have to get something, $430,000. Yeah, we have to. And then after we get it, we got to paint the entire interior white because that's what's popular right now. It's the hive mind, and it keeps you going out and spending. It's real. You can look at it. I'm being harsh on a lot of this stuff, and for good reason. But it's true. And sometimes people, maybe you want an all-white interior because you like white, and you always have. And all of a sudden they're pushing white paint. It's like, man, I would, that's fine. There's nothing at all wrong with that. Go paint your house white, everything. Paint the floors white. It doesn't matter what I say, but I'm talking about the hive mind here. Even the pharmaceuticals. Birth control, and that's its own little topic, but maybe experimental injections, because everybody else is doing it. We better do it too. And then we can talk about, yeah, I'm just like you. I got it too. It's fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. Even your vernacular. And again, especially in women, but men too, we're getting there. I know, right? Starting off brand new sentences with so what happened? Why did you say so? And when that fad came on, I got so confused. I was like, are we switching gears here? Why did she say so? What is it? What happened? But it's a fad, even in your manner of speaking. Now we'll get to the men with the pickup trucks. And the trouble with that is, I was personally affected by that. I need a truck. Used to be only farmers and construction workers, primarily, owned a pickup truck because they needed them. I need one. But then they became a fad, and everybody started buying pickup trucks. And what happened to the cost of pickup trucks? Where are they now? 70,000, 90,000, some of them? Thanks. Appreciate you. Oh, and yeah, absolutely. I'm going to need the, heat warmer, cooler, heated steering wheel, because when I'm filthy and covered in dust and sweat and mud and everything else, I'm going to be worried about my heated seat. Coffee warmer, all these accessories. How much does it tow? Nobody's towing anything. After we buy the pickup truck that we're not going to haul anything with, we can't just stop there. We have to have black rims, ginormous tires that sound like a tank going down the road. Why? I don't know. Most of those trucks have never been off of the road. You can tell by looking at them, because when you take vehicles off the road, number one, stuff gets torn up. And number two, they get bashed in and beat up. Same thing when you're working out of them. There's scrapes and scratches, and at a minimum, the inside of the bed is just trashed if you're working out of a truck. These things are in pristine condition. Got the tonneau cover. Who doesn't want one of those when you're hauling stuff? You might need a pickup truck to pull your bass boat. And you got to have a bass boat. I mean, those 3 to 5 months out of every year where you're going to use that boat, well worth the $30,000. Even in the male's fashion sense, you see it. Remember the spiky hair where you just mess it up, but then you put the gel on it to keep it looking messed up and not real sure why? I bet comb sales took a terrible hit during that. Maybe not, though, because you had to get it to stand up to begin with. And then the facial hair became a thing with the ginormous ZZ Top beard. Again, if you like it and you're into it, have a field day. Some things come around that even I fall for because they're practical or I like them, and it's fine. But the beard thing became this whole new consumerism empire where now there's women or men that get paid to trim your beard. And you got to comb it, and there's oils you can put on it. None of that stuff existed. I have facial hair because I'm too lazy to shave generally, and I'm not a real hairy guy in general. I mean, there's a little bit there, but I'm not a woolly mammoth. Just the way the genetics worked out. Something I totally don't understand for men is the untrimmed fingernails. I mean, are you going to paint them? Especially in the black community. Don't know why. What can you do with them big old claws on your hands? Well, they're not doing a whole lot of anything productive. Shoes, colognes, body wash, all consumerism. I've got to, because all my buddies are skinny jeans. I got to. Both men and women, these uber white teeth, like that can glow in the dark. They're so white. It looks weird. It's like some kind of futuristic robot thing. Teeth aren't white. They're like a mildish kind of yellow. They're not supposed to be able to see them in the dark, but I mean, you do what you want to do, but you're spending money to do it. Craft beers, all of a sudden regular beer isn't good enough. You got to get the stuff that's like $15 a 6-pack. Go right ahead. You do you. Gourmet coffees. You see them lined up in the drive-thru. Who's got enough time in the mornings to stop and wait for 10 minutes in a drive-thru for a $9 cup of coffee You make it home for like 40 cents. But I digress. I was spared a lot of the hive mind almost accidentally, because when I was young, my parents didn't have a lot of money, and even when they did, they had like 742 kids, so they really watched it. We're not spending stuff on something you're going to outgrow in 5 months. I mean, that's logical thinking. I have no problem with it. I hated it when I was a kid. There's a lot of the fad stuff I wanted when I was really young. 7th grade, there was a shoe came out by Converse. They're called Converse Weapons. I thought those were the coolest things. I don't know why, but I was playing a lot of sports. Probably too many, and my ankles were taking a heck of a beating, and I thought high tops would be a logical thing. And I sold it to my mother that way. And I actually got a pair of Converse Weapons. Probably the best shoes I've ever owned. I think I wore them till the seams come undone, and then if you stepped in a puddle, you just get a flood, and that ain't gonna work. I got a second pair that I had to buy myself, because by 15, you're supposed to be buying your own clothes and shoes in our house. So I bought another pair, exactly the same color, black, of Converse Weapons, because they were awesome. They were comfortable, and they lasted long, and gave you the ankle support. So I'm in. I'm in for the fad. Carpenter's jeans became a big thing. When was that? Late 90s? Became a fad. Guys that weren't even carpenters were wearing carpenter jeans. It was the fad. I tried some because pockets. Turns out they're freaking durable. I mean, the only jeans more durable than carpenter's pants are like the Tough Skins in the 80s. And things were fireproof. I'll spare you the suspense. If it's a new movie that's sweeping the nation, I haven't seen it. And I'm probably not going to. Unless somebody owns the DVD and loans it to me, even then I may not watch it. It started out incidentally when I was a kid. When I had to buy my own stuff, I didn't really want to spend the money because I'm kind of cheap like that. And then as an adult, it seems like, to me, that whatever it is that's the current fad, the must-see event of the summer, have you seen the new TV show? I don't want anything to do with it. I don't care. I got other things to do. And whatever the major narrative is, and it's become like this identity thing. Back the blue, support Ukraine. Did you look into any of this? Or did you just hop on the identity bandwagon, the hive mind? And that's the way it is now in your mind. You do what you want to do, whatever seems best to you. But have you thought any of it through? Have you thought about the money being spent? And maybe you have the money to throw away. Most Americans don't. That's why they average out every household has whatever it is now, 8-10 grand in credit card debt, consumer debt. There's nothing to show for it. Trinkets and gewgaws and holiday wreaths and Hobby Lobby frames are half price. Well, that's because they mark them up 3 price. They're on sale every other week, literally. It's on sale. I got to get 3 of them. Do you have pictures to put in them? Stop being like that. I've got to get frames. They're 50% off. Again, have a field day, man. Go have a ball. You're gonna. And that's fine. Where it becomes a problem and a difficulty, politics is a fine example. Where both sides of the same coin, they don't care about you. They're screwing you blind. But it's that identity. Left or right. You got to pick one, and you got to be all in. Don't research anything. Don't study it out. Just pick a side, and then you're all in. Get the flags up. That's both sides I'm talking about. They don't care about you. They count on you being clueless. I'm a lifelong Republican. My family has a long history of being lifetime Democrats. Congratulations, you got screwed royally. The Republicans now are what Democrats were about 20 years ago. They don't care about you. They're not going to care about you. That's a different type of separation of money. It's a separation of power. It's us few and everybody else. And both sides are guilty of that. And if you don't think so, I can't help you. Hey, I do thank you for watching. Put your comments in the thing if you want to. Tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me how I'm right. You won't be accused of being in the hive mindset. I entertain all sides. And it's interesting to talk about. But make no mistake, the hive mind is real and ever present and everywhere. And it's horribly dangerous. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.